Okay. No. Hey, mate. No. You're allowed to talk, mate. You're allowed to talk. I think we're live now. Yes, we are. Okay. Check everything.
Good morning, Joseph.
Hey, good morning.
Sorry, mate. I didn't know that was muted there. Cool.
It's all right. Yeah, cool. Let me just get going with the feed. Let me see that everyone is looking at what we have to. That's a little bit just what I have to do is just the setup of everything. It's what I have to double check that everything is looking at what they're looking.
That is fine. Which channel are you going live to, mate? Are you going to Trade with JR or are you going to your own personal one?
I'm thinking we should do this actually in a way, use this from the channels I have and then guide people to sign up for Trade with JR.
Okay, yeah, you got an audience there already, haven't you?
Yeah, but yeah, or then we can just adjust in the next days or so. That's fine. Whatever we want to do. Yeah, it doesn't matter. When we're using the account from the guys from South America, so it's like a joint thing that I'm doing with everyone. So at the end of the day, it's exposure and people out there that can learn. We're live now, man. So they're listening to us on YouTube. The idea is, and I'm about to go live on Restreamium. So we go live now on Facebook. So yeah, we're live now everywhere.
Let's do it.
Rock. So let me just do this here. Let me just make sure everyone is on the thing. Look at this special effects, man. Look at this. Wait for it.
You love your toys, don't you? You love
them. Man, I have actually too many toys for this one. It's just funny. Let's get going.
It's very professional.
That's right. Yeah, let me go. And welcome, everyone. This is the War Room 1985, directly from Zagreb, somewhere in the mountains in the Republic of Croatia. My name is JR, and today Larry is on the other side of the planet Earth, directly from somewhere in Scotland, right, Larry?
That's right. I'm here in Edinburgh, Scotland, UK. It's a beautiful foggy morning out here, and excited to get trading in the London Open with Trade with JR.
Brilliant. Let me just get going with the screens. This is the only thing that we're going to take some time is just switching one screen to another, but that will be okay. It's just the first steps, baby steps for us and to get this going. So let us just go directly. We're going to start with my FX book. And on daily basis, we're going to share, besides our trading methodology, H4, we're going to share with all of you exactly what we do, what we look at the markets, where we sort of eat and drink our news. And we're going to go directly to that one. That will be, we're going to start with myfxbook.com. You should all be looking at it right now on your screen, making sure we're live on YouTube, we're live on Zoom, we're live on Twitter, we're live on Facebook. And we have to say to the big boys and girls from Instagram, not cool, guys. Rejecting people. You know, guys, what's going on? You guys don't like our content. Not nice. So that's fine. They don't want our content. What can we do, right? Okay, so just double check that everyone is on the same page. Here we go. And I think you see it now, Larry, right?
Yeah, see it nice and clear, mate.
Perfect. So my FX book, what is this good for? Now, there are a lot of sites where you can get your calendar. You can go to Daily FX. Shouts to the guys there. And also you have other nice websites. At the end of the day, you want to have a lean operation. Remember, what we do is we offer you, we look to coach you to understand how to trade as a business. Not because it's a hobby, not because you want to be a trader, not because you want to be an analyst like I am, or you want to be a community manager like Larry. Larry as well, he wants to learn how to make a few pounds left and right. Maybe why not attempt to make 500 pounds per week, which is in today's era of technology and all the tools we have. It's not impossible. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's that easy that just you're going to go to the corner, pick some bread and come back home. No, it's not that. But the idea is there are ways for you to learn how to get there and find strategies or methodologies, like in our case, that can prepare everything, give you a map in how to get there. And that's what we do. So besides that, I always want to sort of read what is the the sentiment out there. You want to have an idea what's happening, and you want to put that in context. So we just go directly to myfxbook.com. It's a free site. I use it on a daily basis. This is also part of our coaching program, where we basically understood the analytics. We understand the analytics, what you're trading, how you're doing it, and we look to fine-tune based on mathematics. This is not I think, I believe, I feel, possibly, maybe. No, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you have to fix. Look, these are that's the data, the hard cold numbers. That's nothing else. If we fix that, you will be profitable. If you just keep going around finding strategies, all these mumbo jumbo, throwing lines in the chart, and you don't fix the core, the mathematics of how you're trading, you never make money consistently. You probably have a few good days, a few good months, but over time, you're going to get exhausted. You need a methodology that you can repeat. But we say rinse and repeat, right? So look, here you have a calendar, economic calendar. It trades pretty effective. You can always filter and remove the ones with low impact, news with low impact, and focus on medium and high. So for this week, let's see if I'm going to take out low impact, no impact. Let's take out medium, and I'm going to focus only on G10. That's all we're going to do on these morning calls, London morning calls. Sapiens, that means humans, you, me, everyone, women and men, they have a attention deficit. You cannot shoot like in multiple directions. It doesn't work. So you need to narrow what you're going to work with. So what I'm doing is just focus my attention on the basic G10 currencies. And from those, I want to pay attention only when it comes to news and that. I just want to pay attention to 7, the ones that are related with the US dollar. But the vast majority, if not the trading that we're going to conduct, will be rotating around the Great British Pound. That's it, nothing else. That's the only currency you need to command, dominate, in order to, I will even say tame, in order for you to be profitable and actually to make money. That's the only one you need. Everything else is nice, yeah, but it's not really gonna make an impact, and it's gonna be sometimes distractions. And I can prove that to every one of you. I have shared this with Larry so many times. It's just the way it is. Volatility, it's needed for us to make money in trading and investing. Not too much, not too little, just right there in the middle, which is difficult to find the balance. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. The Great British Pound is going to give us everything we need. So the right now, the quotes, euro dollar, still not a big change from last week, still at 118.86. The pound dollar right now, 131.74. Euro, the cross that we will take a look, euro versus Great British Pound at 90 cents. Then you have the pound dollar, 131.78, dollar Canadian, 130.10, just looking to continue its way, looking to trade under that level, psychological level, 130. And then you have the dollar versus Japanese yen at 103.45. That's all about it. So remember, as far as getting up speed with news and getting a decent calendar, this will be the one that I will suggest you can take a look. Always take a look at, you can always adjust there. And as you can see, there's not much happening today. I adjusted, we'll get notifications half an hour before the event. And tomorrow, well, today, November 9, we have in the next 2 hours, Bank of England's Governor Bailey, and he will probably say something that could be among the lines of negative interest rates, how they're playing with that, and how that's going to impact you. So let's go directly now. Let's jump to the charts and let's talk about H4, shall we? Let me just make sure we all have that information. I'm going to jump on Zoom, and let's take a look now at Restreamio. Let me make sure I can make this properly. We talk about it now. I have to take this one out. I have to now share. And Larry, do you see MT4, MetaTrader 4? See everything there?
Yeah, I've got it nice and clear on my
Perfect.
screen.
Yeah, perfect. So let me put it on. There we go. Okay, perfect. So the idea at the end of the day is we're looking for a methodology, something simple. We don't want anyone to be cowboys, American cowboys. Please, Americans, don't get offended, but it's just a fact. We're not looking for you guys to just shoot 20 bullets and just hit one. No, we want to be very effective. So the idea what we came up with this is Larry and myself, we have a program we'll call Trade. We'll have a company called Trade with JR, and our company offers coaching. We cater mostly to UK citizens. Also, we won't say no to our friends in Ireland, so they're always welcome. But what we figure is at the United Kingdom, the government, they're going through a rough time. It's very hard for them to keep just giving free money to people. Not free because it comes from their pockets, right? Taxpayers and everything. But for how long do we think the government of Boris Johnson is going to be in position to help? And you guys know, if it's not the first time you know about me, I read everything, every single newspaper in the UK. How do I do that? No worries. I have a lot of free time. No kids yet. So I read the Scotsman, the Herald in Scotland, a lot of that. So the last time, let me see the Scotsman, I noticed there were sort of fighting to know that the British government, they will have the money. Just go over that on the paper, to have the money to support Scottish businesses and citizens. It's not that easy as you think, like, oh, we're just going to have a budget and we're going to give money to everyone. There's a limitation. And where do you think that money is going to go back to the government? They have to increase taxes. That's the only way. It's just mathematics 101. If I give you some, I will expect at some point when you're back on your feet to make it back to us. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So if you think that they're just going to give you money for free and everything's fine and you're going to just live a happy life, you're actually dreaming, and it's going to become a very bad nightmare. So Larry and myself, we came up with a solution. It's time for all of you guys, if not the majority of you, to develop new skills. And we're talking about the skills of trading Forex. Now, this is not a new thing. We're not inventing the wheel here. What we said is we need to find something, a methodology. And we do this on Twitter. We do this on Facebook. And we give the basics of it. So it's not that we're saying, oh, if you don't buy from us, you don't get anything. No, we coach this on a daily basis and show the core of the methodology. Okay. So what we're going to do every morning, we're just going to review this. And what we do in the coaching section, in the paid area, is that we look into you individually. We do personal one-on-one sessions. We do our team meetings. When we look at exactly what you're doing and how to set up yourself to success, that means that, as I said before, we track your performance, which is totally different from the day-to-day guru. What they do is like, oh, come to the room. Yeah, let's throw some lines, blah, blah, blah. That's it. You're part of the group. Yeah, you feel part of a community. But sadly, I have to tell you, trading is not soccer. This is not a team sport. This is a personal thing. Every one of you, women and men, all of you, you have different situations. We have single moms. We have those guys, architects that, okay, they have a good job, fancy job, but they are afraid. Yeah, they're afraid that anything, next, they will be cut. So they need to find something somewhere how to keep making the money, how to keep bringing the pounds back home. Some of you guys, you have responsibilities, you have kids. We all have a responsibility. And if you don't have one, you have a responsibility with yourself. So what is H4 and how we came up with this? So take a look at the chart. Larry, do you see the chart, right? Do you just double check? We're going to start.
Yeah,
okay.
Chart's still there, mate. Crack on.
All right. So sometime back on July 22nd of this year, 2020, somewhere around this area, I'm just going to go over the idea. No, it's horrible. Look, guys, there. Somewhere there is July 22nd. Okay. That day, the H4 candle, okay, H4 candle of July 22nd from 8 a.m., and that's on a 4-hour chart, gave us from high to low what we call a full rotation. That full rotation was 85, or it is actually 85 pips. Okay, now what we did is just figure price patterns on the Great British Pound versus the US dollar. That's it. So basically, when you look at the chart, don't look at the chart just to sort of want to become a Picasso, Van Gogh. No, you use the chart just to determine levels that the currency itself it's given to you for you to make money. And that is the 85 pip rotation. I repeat, it's the 85 pips rotation. Now, a lot of you also will be new to trading. I'm not only talking Forex trading. It will be trading equities. That means stock trading, also options, right? So during today, we'll talk about that too. But pips is just, I want you to think about this, and this is what we do during the coaching, is that you get to speed and learn all these concepts. Because you don't have 14 years or you don't have 5-10 years like Larry has working with different companies in the finance space for you to get to understand all this. We have to do it in record time. So we need a program that will prepare yourself in record time to be able to produce. And that's what we do, okay? So 85 pips, just think about the how it moves. So for example, if it's 10 and it moves to 40, the move there is 30. That is 30 pips, okay? On the other hand, if it's from 10 to 100, you have there 90, that's 90 pips, okay? Now, why is this important? Because we want assets. We want assets to move. They have to move. If they don't move, you don't make any money. We don't make any money, all right? So understanding pips is key for you because you want things to move. And then what we do is that we assign a value to those pips, okay? Now, we define the rotation because there's one little concept that people tend to forget or debate. Markets have memory. This is pretty simple. People will say, no, the markets are fractal, the market are random. Markets are not random. That's stupid. That's stupid. Markets are not random. What markets do is they play in function of liquidity, in function of the needs of the market. Why is the pound right now trading at 131.68? Because things are like in between. What is in between? In between Brexit, in between the fact that Joe Biden won in the US, in between that we have COVID-19, in between the fact that the UK government helped a little bit, free pizza on Saturdays. That was funny, man. That was really funny, mate. So that's the reason why the currency is trading right now 131.67. Is it bad? Yeah, but it's not that bad. And then because it's trading on function against the US dollar, the pound is actually stronger. That means pretty simple math. And remember, I will say this is simple. The reason it was difficult for you before is because you never took the chance, you never sit your ass and listen to anyone or listen to it. Or I will say you never had the chance, you never had the need Remember, need is the mother of all inventions. You were never in a position that, I'm not saying you're going to struggle. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. A few of you will or are. But some of you that you are professionals, you have very successful careers, you never found yourself thinking, oh, I might as well learn this because I can make a little bit of money until things get better. So 131.53, that means the Great British Pound, GBP, Great British Pound, it's appreciated by 31% above the US dollar. So for example, if you're in New York and you're listening to me and you want to come to the UK, that trip is going to cost you an extra 31% of what you were planning. It's 31% more expensive. Now, back in sometime in June, what was the quote? The figure was 122. So that means 22%. And during COVID, mid-February to early March, it was around, the pound crashed to new all-time lows, and we were trading at 114. So at that time, 114, that meant 14% more expensive for those carrying US dollars. Okay? That's in the sense of traveling, that's in the sense of buying goods. So this is a real thing. This is not a fake. As many have said, this is not a scam. It's not a scam, it's a real thing. And if you feel Forex is a scam, well, why do you have paper money in your wallet? Oh, you can say, oh, I don't have paper money, I only have credit cards. The same, it's the same story. The figure is in some kind of denomination. It's denominated in dollars, denominated in euros, pounds. And every country will be different. For example, Turkey, you guys know, is Turkish lira. So at the end of the day, all this works in function of the conditions of the market. Our goal is for you to understand that this is not random. This is not fractal. This is not a surprise. And we do that with this methodology called H4, because it's based, as I said at the beginning, on the H4 bar at 8 a.m. back on July 22nd of this year. That gives us our rotation, 85 pips. Now, with that, what we did next, we simply created a map, pretty simple map for everyone. You can see that to the right, a map, and we use colors. Remember, sapiens, you and me, women and men, they're visual animals. You're a visual animal. You're an animal, one, and second, you're visual. You like everything. When you go to a restaurant and they take the plate to you and you see that thing is beautiful, you're like, it looks delicious. You want to eat it, right? So why not taking that same code in our brain that we're visual and just transfer that to trading? And to the right, you see, we know in advance, we have every single level based on an 85 pip rotation on the Great British Pound versus the US dollar. Now, half of the battle is won so far, because now you will start learning that there is a process that you have to follow. So for example, very basic, let's take a look. Where is the currency right now? Let's zoom in. Look at what the currency is doing right now. It's trading lower. Let me find my red pen now. You see, it's trading lower. It's going to a level that is not a surprise for you anymore. If you come to our daily videos, London Open, Monday to Friday. And if you join us, you will see how we tackle this on daily basis as a team. And then individually, you will set your risk and everything. But what happening is now we're coming into a quick retracement, quick pullback. And where are we targeting? We're targeting 131.53. Is that a surprise? Of course not. Why? Because last week, that area was a strong area of resistance for the Great British Pound versus the US dollar. So the price did break up. Okay, it's a breakup. That's the breakout there. And now it's retesting. What is our goal now? If this thing is going to continue lower, it will break out this level, the 131.53, and then it will come and trade within the range of this new rotation from 131.53 to 130.68. Now, if I'm looking to go short, if I'm looking to sell the market at this moment, left, sell, buy is right, okay? If I want to do this, it's very simple. I can trade directly on the chart. That's basically using the MT4, that's the MetaTrader 4. And maybe you're new, as I said. If you're new to trading, this is something that will coach you how to use the trading platform. You will be surprised, but a lot of the failures we have and a lot of the failures you see out there is fear to technology. Yeah, people scroll all day long on Instagram and Facebook. Ask them to use a trading platform. First off, they never heard of that thing. Like, oh my God, I didn't know you can actually trade stocks or currencies on your phone. Of course you can. We're not in 1970. It's the year 2020. You see, technology set us free. And we have to take advantage of it. You can trade on your mobile, you can trade on your desktop, you can trade on your laptop, you could trade out of your tablet. So many things have changed. And I bet you, like, give it 2-3 years more and you will be able to trade from your Apple Watch. It's crazy. It's so crazy, but it's real. And so there's no excuse for you not to access the market. So we also coach you so you can see step by step the whole workspace, how to use it, so you can build the confidence to do this. You must build the confidence to do it. You can. You have all the tools. I bet you can read. I bet you have the time, right, to spend time on Facebook or Instagram. Just, allocate that time into something that matters, that can potentially make you money, right? So as you can see right now, the price is targeting a level that we know. How do we know that? Because we have the battle plan, H4. So we know exactly what it's going to do. Now, if the break is clean, okay, and continues, then we know we have couple targets. We have this target, which is full liquidity, and then we have the end of the rotation. So that would be 138.68. At that point, you take profits. You take profits. You have to take profits. And that's another key takeaway of our methodology. You learn to take profits. The vast majority of the time, you see a lot of technical analysts. That's my colleagues. Okay, say hi to everyone there. Hello to all the technical analysts and the fundamental analysts and the gurus and all that blah, blah, blah. A lot of what they do is this. They say, okay, let's buy. And they come with something like whoosh, to the moon. Or also you have the ones saying, hey, no worries. You have to use tight. I don't even have to write this thing in English correctly. Something like that. Tight stop loss. Because someone think that if you risk less is better. No mathematical evidence that this is accurate. Actually, Daily Effects, which is in London, they come up with a paper that indicates at all times that it's not tight stop losses or tight risk that will make you money. It's holding the trades that are making money a little bit longer. That's it. That's it. Because the way the human brain is wired is basically, oh, I'm happy to take a loss. This is what they do when they're doing investing. And I understand why that happens. They don't have experience. They're willing to lose 200 pounds. They take it. But the problem is, as soon as they see 20 pounds in profit, oh, they close that. But they let positions like this become a reality, the day to day. And as soon as they see a little bit of profit, they close it. Why? Why you do that? I think I know why. And it's the number one reason is because you don't have a trading methodology. Now, I'm going to go into the market. I'm going to sell one standard lot. Remember, all this that you're seeing is for educational purposes only. This is not an invitation for you to sell or do anything. If you do it, remember, no one in my team, no one in our team will be responsible for your losses, okay? And yeah, I mean, if you win, fantastic. But at the same time, that's on you. You are the one making the decision. taking a leap of faith. So what we're doing now is that we are in the market. We placed an order and we sold. We sold one standard lot based on the fact that it's right there on the rotation level. It's coming back after being all the way up to this level, 131.90. Wow, it's a lot. You see, 40 points before the London Open, and now it's retracing. It's moving lower. Okay, you can see it. It's visual. You see that? Perfect. Now, at this point, if I expect it to go with a breakout, which is not hard to see, if there's a breakout, like I said, we have a continuation to these levels. Okay, this is where I expect to make money. Now, because you're trading as a business, there are a couple ways we can do this. You have to set a stop loss. This is crucial, not because the stop loss will prevent you of losing money. No, the stop loss, believe it or not, is just to cut the bleeding, to stop the bleeding. That's what we want to do, because as any business, sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't matter if we have a great structure, well-rounded methodology as H4. Sometimes things don't work. It's investments, it's trading, it's just random sometimes in the fact that in the next hour or so, someone says something and kaput, it goes around the way. That's the random of the markets, not the structure. The random is that any monkey, shouldn't say that, anyone that's think or seems to have a little bit of power can go on the media and say something and people get scared. So in the short term, the values may change, but in the long term, the structure is in place. All right. Now, I need to set a stop loss. Okay. I'm using one standard lot. And in this particular position, what I'm doing is saying this. I move it. See how easy it was just to drag it on the chart. I didn't have to set anything. You can trade directly on the chart. Now, if you're doing this from your mobile, from your tablet, then of course you probably need to click a few steps, but it will be still very easy to do. I just did it so you see the facility, the features in how you can trade directly from the charts. And it's easy because it saves you time. Now, what I did is to place my stop loss. In this first trade, what I want to do is to share with you how easy it is to set up the size of the stop loss. What I did is, okay, the high of the day was 131.98. I want everything to continue in my favor. So if the price, for whatever reason, okay, reverses, that means there is something wrong in the market. The pound is no longer weaker than the US dollar, and I want to get out. Okay? Again, if by any chances the price reverses and trades back at the high of the day, which is 131.98, I want to get out. That's it. I don't care what happened. Sadly, I don't have money. I don't have deep pockets to wander around like, oh my God, maybe it's going to make a comeback. Maybe it's just trying to scare me. You guys can afford that, okay? So you use that day, high of the day. You use that high of the day as your stop loss, okay? That's to set your risk. That will cut the bleeding. Listen, it won't prevent losses. The purpose of the stop loss, let's call it SL, is to stop the bleeding. All right? You have to stop the bleeding. What would you prefer? Let me ask you this question. Let me see, everyone is on the same page. Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Okay. I think I can do this on, let me see. I can do this. Let me see live. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Would you like to lose $1,000 or would you prefer to lose only $400? So, well, 1,000 pounds or 400 pounds? What would you prefer? Larry, what do you think? Shall we just lose 1,000 pounds or cut it and get out by 400?
I'd like to go out this weekend, mate. So if we could lose the 400, that'd be nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So far, so good. Larry, tell me what you think about this H4, this story about trading Forex. How you look at it?
Well, let's put it this way. I've looked at literally hundreds of videos on YouTube about people giving the strategies and stuff. And a lot of it seems to work in theory, but in reality, they just miss so much information in terms of when to get into the market and when to get out of the market. This gives me a structure, which is why I love learning it from you. And it really makes it easy to understand when I've got to enter the market and when I've got to leave the market, and the potential risk and the potential profit I can make as well, which are two things that, trust me, if you go through all the YouTube videos, you're not going to find. So this is very unique in its conception. And the fact that I can very quickly look at the chart and understand potentially where the pound is going to go, for me is game changing. So I absolutely love it. The fact that I've like literally just followed this trade with you, and it's already in profit. Now I know that we can't take that as being how the trade's going to end, but it just shows the power and the understanding that the markets really do have memory. And just being able to capitalize that in a really systematic way, I think is game changing.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I think like and like I said, we shared this so many times. Is if it were about all the books, all the trading and investing books written out there, everyone will be rich by now. It will be that easy.
Yeah, exactly.
By the amount of books, and there's some great books. I mean, I have my Bible. Besides my Bible, I'm Catholic and everything, but I have my Bible, which is this little book from Professor Edward Thorp from the U.S., which is Beat the Dealer. Is his first research that he did in how to beat casinos in the game of blackjack. But what you learn from this book is how you manage your money, how you protect your money. So that's the question. When you're in trading and people seem not to sort of connect the dots from the day-to-day business or their day-to-day activities, right? And connect the dots with trading in the markets is, hey, things are not going your way. Have to abort mission. I know, $400, 400 pounds, 400 euros, but you better let it go before it turns out to be a monster loss. And by just reading books that are key to the mathematics, because we all want to hear these fantastic stories, and how people tend to, oh, Warren Buffett this, oh, Warren Buffett that, oh, Warren Buffett. Hey, the dude was amazing. Things are a bit difficult for him, but he's coming from a different age, a different time, with different access to money, with different execution. Everything was so different from him that you cannot compare yourself to Warren Buffett. It's pointless. So we have to really look at the whole thing in, okay, how do you trade this? Just looking at, see that we have our connection. Yeah, it's live on Twitter. Double checking all the channels we're using today. So it's understanding how is this going to work for me as a business. But when I say as a business, I try to refer as you have to make money. I'm not talking about making $20. We're not here to celebrate. And based on our experience trading together, we're not here to celebrate 100 pounds. No. Why are you supposed to do an extra 100 pounds per month? Please. You have to learn it. You have to get involved in a way that it means something. It's like why people actually pay this very fancy, expensive masters at London School of Economics, because they want to make 1,000 pounds per month. That's the salary you're aspiring, right? When you enroll yourself at LSE, that's your dream, right? Of course not. Of course not. You want to really have something, learn those skills. In a way, yeah, learn the skills so someone hires you. Funny, but it's fine. But learn the skills and show someone that you took the time. You take yourself seriously, because that's what getting out of LZ gives you, right? That like, hey, I'm someone, right? And that is going to cost you a couple £1,000. It's expensive, but you know what? It also, in a way, sets you apart. I truly believe that. I'm a big fan of LSE, man. LSE.
Yeah, and it's not just that it sets you apart. It's the fact that you've invested in a skill set that lets you determine your own future. You're not tied to the 9 to 5. You know that with confidence or a high degree of certainty, you can open up the charts, you can make substantial money that gives you options in life. Whereas if you've got the 9 to 5 job, that's not going to happen. You trade your time for money, and that is not any way to progress your life, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we all give our views, and like I said, and it's a little bit tricky in a way that I drafted everything. I think you saw the description of the webinars on Zoom. I'm sorry, but it's true. COVID-19, fuck us all, man.
Yeah,
it's just,
and we're just starting to realize how much it fucked us all. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's not something that we can say. So I was already trading. You were already have experience. You were working. You have your commitments, professional commitments. And we say like, okay, in the UK, who is actually doing this? Who is actually taking the time? Because people don't understand time is a non-renewable resource. I share time with you, and no one's going to give me back that hour or those 2 hours. So it's about taking the time, sit down, and show you. Okay, here's the trading platform. Don't be afraid. This is the chart. Don't be afraid. Okay, and it's about using your money, using partial, some portion of your savings. There are some of you that you actually been around for a while, but you haven't been able to make money. It happens a lot. The sad stories where people say, you know what, I took this trading course. I flew there. I sit down with people, and it was fun. It was fun, but you know what? I don't know. I haven't been able. It doesn't click with me, because, and with all respect to all of those that they have trading courses, yeah, it's nice. They're well drafted. They're beautifully presented, but then people don't connect. We have to find something where people connect with them, and also it's the guidance. It's that's why people don't like to do coaching, because coaching is something that it consumes time. And I have to see, and this is where I have to come up and see, okay, you have to trade in this account. You have to, for example, you have only 10 trades per week. How many trades are you placing per week? Okay. Are you doing the pa, 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 or are you just shooting straight to the head? Because what would you like? Do you like to talk beautifully about economics? You like to speculate about what the UK government is going to do next? Or you rather develop the skills that will put food on the table? It will help you to put some sort of hope in your life, because that's what it is. And again, remember, this is just one of the many skills you may develop. Trading Forex, equities. We also trade US equities. We trade options on US markets. These are just a few skills that you may choose to develop. Maybe you want to start your own, I don't know, radio show. It's time. Maybe you want to be the next Joe Rogan. Or
I've got my eyes on that spot. What was it got paid from Spotify? £100 million just for smoking weed and chewing the fat. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
You know what we have to do on Fridays? We should actually talk now. We still have to find a way for you to send me some authentic Scottish scotch. And yeah, I'm serious. Like,
you couldn't handle that, Jose. I'm sorry, but you couldn't.
No, I probably just, I'm sorry, not say that it's bad, but I probably just puke and pass out, man. I'm not ready for the good stuff, man.
But I'll tell you what, when these trades work out this week, I will go to the shop in Edinburgh. There's a nice little place just on the Royal Mile. And they've got the best selection you've ever seen. And I'll pick you out a nice little bottle.
Yeah, man.
When you come over and you come party with me, we'll go to Scotch night. But do not blame me for the next day. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's going to be a full weekend, man. Imagine both of us. Yeah, I am seriously, imagine both of us after a week of trading and working and all the commitments we have with different enterprises. And then Friday, disconnecting. Man, Amber's going to kick your ass, man.
Oh, the joys of having a child with a hangover, mate. It's different. Well, but you would love Edinburgh. Anyone that's not been here, fantastic city. Get your asses over here. One of the best nights that you'll ever have, and it is a fantastically beautiful city to look at as well. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but it's
that's all right. That's all right. Okay, all righty, guys. Let's go back to H4. Let's see where we are. Making sure we have everything on the different social channels, and let me go back on YouTube. Let's work more on the concept. So, as I said before, H4 is just a effective and simple methodology. It's not fancy. Look at what it is. I have a few colors. I have horizontal lines, but these horizontal lines, they're coming for, they have a source. Is the 85 pip rotation from high to low going back all the way to July 22, 2020. So I bet you this, go to the charts and go into the H4 chart. That means the 4-hour chart, and navigate the chart and see how many candles. A candle is this. This type of chart is called the Japanese candlestick, based on the fact that one of the first markets was the rice markets in Japan, and they came up with this idea based on the function of buy and sell pressure to see that candles were creating different patterns. Now, there are tons of patterns. Do you think we have time for you to learn those before you start trading? Of course not. There are different combinations, and every combination will define if it's bullish or bearish. Now, I came up with a conclusion that that's nice, lovely, but it has nothing to do with the market. The function of the market is based on market memory. That's our core. And based on that, we work on the 85 pip rotation. Now, as the price, as you can see, keeps breaking the predetermined level, which is part of your, the battle plan of H4, now we have all doors wide open to test as potential targets. We have this level. Let me switch to green. You have this level right there. And you also, as your last take profit, you will have to get out, take all profits, at least all profits in this particular trade at 130.68. Why? Bad habits that we will fix at Trade with JR. Our coaching program is designed for you to tackle Forex as a business, not as a joke, not because you want to become a trader or analyst as I am. If that's the case, cool. But respect the methodology. We're looking for you to attempt to take home, and I will say this proudly, 500 pounds per week. Now, how do you get there? Well, you need started capital, okay? You need the conditions for that to happen. First, we like you to choose our methodology to get there, but also we'll give you the guidelines. You need to have, for example, the first step is that you need to open a trading account. You need to open an account, okay? Now, there are millions of places, actually not millions, but hundreds of places now. That sounds more realistic. Hundreds of places where you can open an account, right? But I can openly say I trade with FX Pro, beautiful customer service, beautiful back office, very seamless process. But also for those of you that are looking to, based on the regulation, we know the regulation in the UK and other countries in Europe, they limit leverage. If you want to access that leverage, then higher leverage that the way I do, that we trade with 400 to 1, which I think is, technically speaking, effective for you to actually get somewhere. Then, of course, we suggest that you consider AVA trade. This is where I execute outside Europe. So let me just, I will show you their site if I can fix this one. Let me show you the site, and we work in collaboration with our community in South America, Comunidad Traders. And those are our friends, our colleagues, and of course, I do coaching with them in South America. And we use different platforms. We also use TradingView. There's other analysts, Sully Vilici. He's from Chile. Great country, great business work ethics. Who's the other guy there? I always miss the guy. That's me, of course. Big smile and afro. And Felipe Posada. So those are 3 members. There are more members coming up. Also, ladies are joining the team. But we all execute somewhere. We all execute in one single place. That place where we execute. I have to change it for those of you on Facebook and Twitter. We'll do that in a moment. I think I can do that. Well, I don't think I can do that. So I will switch real quick. I have to learn. Show you guys what we're looking at, Larry and myself. Application. Where is this little thing? Yeah, okay. So this is actually the same. Actually the same. Yeah, I was saying now, okay, everyone on Facebook and Twitter will be in position to see it. Like I said, our friends, colleagues, different communities we work, it's a big team worldwide. Comunidad Traders in South America, Chile, and this goes all the way to Mexico, all the way up to Mexico and Central America and the Caribbean. And it's a bunch of us that we tackle different methodologies. We focus ourselves in methodologies, and I take care of the coaching, the professional coaching. But we all execute in one single place. I think we probably have it. We all execute with AvaTrade. It's a worldwide recognized FX broker, also CFDs broker, and also offering options. Now, the reason why we want you to consider it all the time to execute with them is the fact that in Europe, there's a limitation on the leverage. So that means that you can trade with them, you have safety and everything. But the problem is, the challenge is that you will have to add more money. What we want to do is take amounts of money. We suggest always to start with 3,000 pounds. We have cases, we heard, Larry, cases of 250 pounds.
Got kids, mate, got kids.
Yeah. But we have 3,000 pounds, also as much as you feel comfortable with to start with, okay? For more information, always you can reach out to us in our different social channels. What's the benefit? What is the protection for customers? But rest assured that we always work with regulated brokers. AvaTrade, they have licenses for European licenses. They are in Ireland. They also have licenses in Australia, licenses in Dubai. But we work with the office in Chile because they've been proving themselves for the last 4 years, now expanding to their new offices in Mexico. Pretty much AvaTrade conquering America. Doing that, mate.
They're an impressive platform. They really are. I've had nothing but good experience so far, so no complaints this side.
Yeah, and the liquidity. I mean, Larry is a national of Scotland. He opened his account. Money went in, money went back with his winnings, right? So we can talk about that. And people say, oh, I don't recommend a broker. So let me ask you this. How are you going to make money? With an abacus. You have to trade. You need a place to trade, right? So that's what we do with Comunidad Traders, the entire team, Tasuli, Posada, Larry, myself, and the newcomers that will join, also a director from India. We have Mahesh Tank, data scientist. A Slovenian living in Berlin, another team member, Zlata Muratovic, living in Berlin. So it's not just me and Larry. There's an army of us out there working, developing these methodologies that will allow your life to become somehow easier when it comes to when you decide to start trading. All right. So let's continue with H4. This is what I have to do. I have to go back, blah, blah, blah. So I have to go back. Let me remove that screen. And let's go back to MT4. There you got it. Let's continue with it. Okay. Now, price is doing whatever the price wants to do. Again, let's just go over a little bit more of this. Remember, every rotation is based on 85 pips. Okay. It's always 85 pips. Here it is. There you go. It happened there again and again. So as you can see all the time, market memory. It repeats over and over again. But this is October. See here, October to November. No, this is not new. Let's take a look. See that? Okay. Now, look at this. 85 pip here, 85 pip there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Before that, it happened as well. 12, 13, 14, 16, and I probably can structure this and give you more rotations. And then it continue. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And I can keep counting. Over and over again. H4. That's all you have to trade and see that we're not moving anywhere. I mean, I can talk about now. I will talk about the euro and everything else because I know there's a lot of other potential individuals that they want to trade. Now, the question we get, does H4 works with the euro or the dollar Canadian? And I have to tell you, no, it doesn't. The reason is the historical levels of the pound, what the pound can do on daily basis and weekly basis. So we also came up with this because there's some historical data that we manage, that we work on, which is the mathematics behind the methodology. And we know what the pound can do on a daily basis. Okay, so as a rule of thumb, we established the pound can easily move up to 200 pips in its best day. Yes, it's hard to believe, right? But in its best day, easily, the pound dollar will move up 200 pips. This is algebra 101. So we coach you to understand what is your best scenario and your worst case on daily basis. So you prepare yourself. Now, when I trade, I'm not looking all the time to understand, okay, I'm going to make a lot of money. No, my first concern all the time, I'm concerned about managing my risk. I don't want to know how much money I can make. Yeah, we make an attempt to make 500 pounds per week. But when we coach you, we make sure you understand that comes as you protect your money. That comes by measuring your risk. If you control this, everything else is going to be easy peasy. Is not the strategy, is not to drop indicators. You want me to drop indicators? Wait, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do something crazy. Okay, what is this? Okay, wait. That's one, which you see all the time. That's two. And boy, we need a stochastics, right? Because we need to know when the market's oversold, overbought. There you go. Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful. And what else we have? Let's throw moving averages as well, because boy, we need that too. There you go. There you go. So this is the day-to-day chart of those called traders or other analysts. They're looking at all these variables. Now, what's the conclusion here? Because, for example, you have this thing called MACD, famous, but you know what? There's doing nothing. Then they say, oh, you have to see if the slope is turning bearish or bullish. Well, that's so subjective, because this thing can actually keep going and the price just keep going up. So I'm not taking a reversal because I see that stochastic is just sloping down. And look at the ATR. The ATR is somewhere like bullish. I mean, it doesn't look like it's turning bearish. It looks bullish. So what do I do here? Then, oh, no, you have to wait for all of them to align. What is this bullshit? What is this craziness, man? Crazy stuff. And it works. From time to time, it works. But if it works, why don't we have more people with confidence trading the markets? Because they all have limitations. They all have limitations. But if you take a more effective approach, a more black and white approach, okay, based on rotations, and that's the purpose of these daily sessions. I understand rotations, and we are explaining this rotation in H4, right? And yeah, I'm placing a trade. I mean, what I'm supposed to do is like those so-called gurus, female and male, that they're like, oh no, I'm only teaching you. No, we have to trade. That's why you can hear my voice, the confidence in what I'm doing, okay? Because we have done it, and for me it was very important to do it with Larry, and we did. Larry, I mean, he probably is biased as well because we were super successful, but before that it was a disaster, mate. Larry, it was hell.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money unnecessarily. It was exactly the same pain that I went through when I was learning how to drive traffic on Facebook, only it was just so much more emotional. But yeah, it wasn't fun in the beginning. But now, like I said earlier, that I've got a little bit of structure, it just makes it so much more fun to do this.
Yeah, exactly. You have that portion of, okay, it's fun. People, we see now a little bit better the market. It's again confidence in how we do it. It's
can I
pure
just add,
confidence.
it's for me, like I was losing money, but I didn't understand the risk management part. Now I've heard all the things about never trade more than 2% of your balance and stuff, and that's all good. But this is a much more rigid way to do it. And like you said to me before, protect the family. You protect the family. Once I start to understood what that meant, that's when the profit started to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's just a process of understanding it and getting used to it. But what happened is that with H4, we reduced the number of decisions that you're making, because we trade one methodology. That's it. It's one simple methodology. Okay. Let me just bring the chart here so everyone see. Okay, perfect. And Twitter and Facebook, we have it. Let me make sure we have it on Zoom as well. Yeah, we are on the MT4. So that's the idea. It's understanding it. Once you have learn it by heart, because sometimes I'm just visualizing and saying, okay, where is the market? Okay, it's 130.60, for example, last week, 130.60. And then I'm like, okay, how you do that? Let me see. Okay, do that. Okay. You are like, okay, how do I trade the market? And so I close my eyes and I visualize, okay, if it's 130.60, I have 85 pips up and I have 85 pips to the downside. But I also visualize this. I visualize where exactly is it's the currency. For example, look at what happened last week. Okay, let me zoom this and look at this section. Look at what the pound did. So in this candle, you have the breakout. Okay, that's the breakout, which is also a component of our strategy. You don't need to wait to place the trade. You can always use a buy stop, sort of automate your trading. And know, okay, if it's gonna go through 130.68, I might as well just buy stop that price level based on the battle plan that we use in H4. I'll go in, execute, and take 20 or probably at 20, 40 pips. But then the price, look at it, the price comes back. And where it found support, 130.68. So this is another buy for you. And this is the ones that you take with 20 pips stop loss, or you can do 40. We have different approaches to our different tactics that we apply to this. But for example, if you take this probability, take this trade with only 20 pips, works very well. And look what happened. From this point, price goes all the way where? You don't need to guess. There's no guessing. If you bought it at 130.68, you do know you have to get out at 131.53 because you have to take profits. If you do that with one standard lot, if you do, I don't want anyone to say, JR told me that I must live and breathe to trade with one standard lot. That is not the case. It is not the case. I'm just saying that's what it's available. Then in this range, because it's based on 85 pips, okay, how much money do you make? Estimated 850 pounds. And that is in about of less than 4 to 8 hours, between 4 hours to 8 hours. Okay. Now, what business opportunities, what business enterprises do you have out there that you, with a portion of your savings or risk capital, may attempt to make 850 pounds between 4 and 8 hours? Do you know anything out there, Larry?
Certainly not architecture, which is what I studied for a while. It's in the UK, you're not making that money in a 9-to-5 job, trust me.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, we know it's potentially, but there's no job out there that potentially at any given time would allow you to make that. So that's what I'm calling here. By finding yourself applying this methodology, you can open doors for potentially make that kind of money. That's what we're talking about. That's what it is, right? So that's the case. Now, again, where are we today? We are, as we said, we know Joe Biden won. The UK, it's again coming with restrictions. So they already set restrictions. We know what is happening in Scotland. Same story in Wales. Actually, you should check the newspaper in Wales to see what's happening with those guys there.
I believe they're just coming out of lockdown, and I believe the infection rates have stabilized, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to go into another lockdown now that furlough's been made available to the entire nation, essentially. Same with Scotland as well.
Yeah, I think we can check probably South Wales Argus. It's one of the newspapers. Also, you have North Wales Live, Daily Post. I think the Daily Post as well. Let me check. We can check that in a moment. So that's the idea. Briefly, well, we share some time explaining everything that we look at. We're going to jump into U.S. equities and also a trading options with a brand name in the U.S., brand name worldwide, Intel, ticker symbol INTC. There's an opportunity, a nice little opportunity that I found in the options market for those of you looking to play the long-term game. Potentially can bank us about 200 to 300% on our money. But we continue with currencies. Joe Biden won, right? That's fine. And the way it looks is that's going to be a little bit creepy for the US dollar. So I wouldn't be surprised that there's anything that we see as far as weakness in the pound will be related to the talks between the UK and the European Union. But other than that, I mean, I think it's set in motion. I'm just waiting, honestly. I think the last test for the pound will be this long-term bearish external line. As you can see, it's external because obviously the price is outside this area. I don't think I have to explain this too much, but you can see prices here. This is the in part. This is the outside. So it's a bearish external trend line. And see how effective it was a couple of times. This is not something that you require a PhD to realize. You don't have to go to LSE to get to understand this. See this. Rejection, rejection, rejection. And probably, if it goes well, we have another rejection. Problem is that we need to be prepared for another attack to it and continuation in the area. Now, if by any chance talks again for the number, I don't know, 20 or 30 fall apart between the UK and the European Commission, God knows that it's something that can easily happen after they all have lunch with taxpayers' money, right? Well, then we will be ready because this is not going to change. We have the levels. At all time, we have the levels. We know exactly what will happen. If prices decide to continue, we will be taking profits at 132.34. We'll be ready with a buy, and we'll be looking to exit at 132.34. If, in fact, there's a breakout of this level, then, of course, we will be looking to buy this nice little level and target 133.18. That's simple as it is. On the other hand, for example, today we see there's some weakness after the pound moving up. Look at this. From this low, 128.55, so far is up 342 pips. 342 pips. That's about 3,420 pounds in what? Oh, no. I think I switched it. Let me go back. Let me see. It should be there. Do you see my screen, Larry? Should be.
Yeah, still see MT4, mate.
MT4, perfect. Just want to make sure because I want to make sure everything else is on. Yeah, it's there. It's there. I think it's for everyone. Okay. So, yeah. So it's about 3,450 pounds for you. Now, let me show you. I want everyone to see, for example, what they can achieve with this. Let me see. Okay. For example, if the pound continues on this short trade and selling the pound, if we get to that liquidity, we're looking to bank at least 627 pounds. And then to the final exit on this rotation, that will be 868 pounds. Well, $860. I will probably have to get another account in pounds. So we all have an idea. You see that to the left, right, Larry? You see to the left?
I do, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now let's leave it there. Let's modify, say okay to this. And then our risk, as you can see, it's 476 pounds. We all can come lower and say, I'm only going to risk 300 pounds. It all depends. 300 pounds would be about 29.32 pips. Okay. And we're going to leave it here. Just going to leave that there. Now, you don't need to trade all the time with, let me see, where is this? It's 20 pounds. Let me see if it moves. Just probably close it and give another example. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, we made 6 pounds. Let me use this for another example. You don't have to trade one standard. Our coaching goes and said, okay, you can trade 0.25. Let me just show you 0.25. That's a quarter of a lot, 2 mini lots, or you can trade 0.5. Okay, so our methodology, H4, our coaching guides you to learn how to set your risk. So rather than trade with one standard, you don't feel comfortable yet to do that. You can trade with half a lot, okay, and placing that trade, and then the same area that we use to calculate our stop loss, okay, that will be different. And we'll have only, by that, we will have 257 pounds or equal to that. So equal to that, and you reduce your risk as well. Same stop loss size, 45, 50 pips based on the high of the day, okay? But we reduce our risk by decreasing the lot size, which is something you can do on screen, on the chart, right there to the left. You just click there, it opens the box, and then you have all that information. And then you set, remember, just track your position either to the liquidity level. We'll talk more about liquidity levels in next sessions, or you exit finally at 130.68. That's it. And potentially that will translate into 400 pounds, $400, 400 euros for you in profits. Pretty simple. You just have to do this by dragging. The most important, the one thing I like as well is how H4 is intuitive. You see it on your screen. It's not something that, I mean, I'm guiding you how to learn about it. That is there on the charts. But the reality is, Larry, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty intuitive. You can see it there. It's right there in front of you.
I'm not sure how much we should be giving away this for free, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. It is. Yeah. It's literally is point and drag simple.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can make a loss. Let's not just make people believe that it's easy money. You do have to put in the time to learn the charts. But compared to other strategies out there that people are teaching, this is 1-2 step easy.
Yeah. And we're giving away so much.
For free.
No, but at the end of the day, it's like, look, you can have so many strategies and everything, but I think it's the one-on-one, the coaching and the teamwork that we do before everyone goes and start trading, and how we measure the statistics. Because I have seen, and I tell you, I will say barely these gurus, they actually share time, because their idea is they have to sell programs, they have to sell pre-recorded courses, right? They have to sell PDFs, and that's fine. Respect to everyone, to what they do. But what we're looking for people to make money. I mean, this story of, oh, I like you. You can like me and everything, but if we don't make money, it's pointless. It's totally pointless. So I think we have enough for today, right? We have enough, a little bit going on H4. I'm going to continue. Larry, if you want to stay, fine. If you have things to do, mate, just go ahead. I will just continue and keep reading the markets and go into other currencies for the day to day. I'm going to take a start.
I'm here with you, Jose, but I am just needing it downstairs for a little bit to sort some stuff out, so I'll be back on. I'll leave all this running.
All right, yeah. So let's continue. Let's see what's happening in the Forex universe. We're going to start with the Euroversus Dollar. Not much to say here. It's something that we can see in H4. Let's take a look at what's happening in H4. Daily chart, bullish. Weekly chart, we have a new wick bar on the candlestick, and potentially we can easily head up north to the 120 level. This is the more based on more US dollar weakness rather than any potential inflation or improvements in the European Union. All these countries going into semi-lockdowns and stories and battles that God knows. But that will be a nice 120 pips to the upside. That can be with a standard lot. If we share, so you can see, potentially you're looking at $1,240 in this case. The risk, as usual, I will not be too complicated for me to judge. I will be looking to take a one-on-one at least, and I will be setting my risk back to 117.84. You can see that to the right. That's pretty simple. Not too complicated, this trade, all right? Something to consider. On the monthly chart, something that I like to say, let me just remove that. We take out all that. Something to consider is the following. If you take the long-term bearish trend line You can see right there, coming all the way from back to 2007, very expensive time to visit Europe if you were in the US or if we were carrying US dollars, all the way back to 2008, March 2008, April, same for May, June, July, very, very expensive 5 months to be in Europe. The euro dollar was trading at 158, but from that point, it's just all the way down. However, to notice, see yourself, look where is the euro now. It's finding support under or above? Above. And this is just the beginning of something new. So now we have all the doors wide open for it to trade at 124. That I think it's just going to happen like a whoosh, like a rocket. Of course not. Of course not. However, we cannot deny that the dollar is just on a bearish trend. Do you want evidence? Of course, we can easily do that. If you look and see what we call the US dollar index, the US dollar index, it's a nice little index that shows you the strength of the US dollar. And we also have a problem here. The problem with the US dollar index is this long-term trend line. I'm going to change that to red because this is a bearish trend line. There you go. There you have it. Okay, now, if you dare to trade currencies, at all time, you need to look at this index. People, some pros, they say it doesn't matter. That's fantastic. Then let's just call the bank and trash it because we don't need it, but we do need it. We need to know in a way, a mathematical way, the strength or the weakness of the dollar, which is the asset that is based against the currencies that we trade. So therefore, you need it. It's not if, maybe. You need it. It's a must. And what is this thing doing right now? Let me save my space. Jesus. There you go. Let me see. Everyone is looking at it. Perfect. Let me double check. I always have to double check that everything's going well for the different live feeds. All right. So where's the price now? And this is the issue. Price now is finally with a weekly body under the long-term bearish trend line. And this is a big challenge for the US dollar. Like it or not, this is a big challenge. It's signaling more weakness for it. Short term, it can be some pullbacks and all that's nice. But it's really looking something that is very concerning, very concerning. Now, if you look at a simple strategy, will be to take trend Fibonacci. Unless this thing is just not, if it's not coming back above the bearish trend line, let's say 93.13. Right now we're 92.30. We're going to have an issue. We're going to soon be at 91.69, and that's going to be even more weakness. That means that you want to be buying risk. That means if you look at the market watch, you want to be buying Australian dollar versus US dollar, especially because things are not that bad in China anymore. Australia is always showering itself from the strength of the Chinese markets. New Zealand, same approach. You may want to consider shorts on dollar Canadian. This is not rocket science, everyone. This is something very basic to follow up. Okay, if the dollar is weaker, you want to take that approach. You want to take a look at those currencies. All right, now based on H4 rotation, at least on the Great British Pound versus US dollar, you will find opportunities for short-term trades, but we cannot be blind to the fact that this is happening on the US dollar and the trend risk buying, and the trend favors buying risk, okay? So pay attention to the US dollar index, what is happening there and what potentially you can have. I'm going to continue. I want to take a look at the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Let's take a look at this one all the way over here. Let me just take this one. So keep an eye on this, see what happens. Another way to think about it is this. The euro versus US dollar will be a buy, even if it moves lower to trade at 114.85, okay? The only way that I will consider not continue buying the euro versus US dollar if it trades under 113.20. Those will be my levels. And again, remember, when you're a member of Trade with JR, we coach you to look into trades in the 4-hour chart, and also different techniques that we use. All right. Now, I said I want to take a look at the dollar versus the Swiss franc. Let's say what we have now. Monthly, there's not much to say. I probably can use this one and come with a trend Fibonacci favoring retracement. We can see the doors are open, and at least I will see a duplication from this range, which is about 270 pips. And that will signal there is an opportunity for this currency to go without questions back to 87 cents. 87 cents on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Moving to a lower time frame, if you look at the weekly, same story, not much to say. Mathematically speaking, it seems that it's breaking this low. Okay, there you go. There you go, right there. It's breaking this low. Okay, and if it's breaking this low, what am I expecting? Am I expecting that price will trade above or under? Of course not. If it's breaking under, then I have an expectation that can continue. Now, the thing is, as I said, randomly, anyone can pick the phone, tweet, I don't know, go on Bloomberg, Reuters, send something brilliant above the devaluation of the Swiss franc, symbol CHF, and then suddenly the dollar pops. But the dollar won't pop because we're favoring the US dollar. No, it's because someone has to talk down the other currency. That's it. That's pretty simple. Okay, so keep that in mind. What we're looking at in this particular currency, the Swiss franc has been by so many years, the currency of choice for investors. When there's turmoil in the markets, they go and protect themselves right there. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's take a little look, because now we're moving 18 pips in our favor in the H4. Let me see if I have it. Okay, there you go. We can see how now the breakout strategies and this component of H4 trading methodology is moving. We can assess now that we're under the 131.53, and as we can say, there are different levels that we can always pick. In this case, there are several strategies, well, not strategies, tactics that we do to protect our trades or protect ourselves of any surprises. But like Larry said, we're already giving so much for free, so I'm gonna, shut my mouth. Don't say anymore. We are already sharing with you, but it's guiding today and is playing out as expected, or basically as shared live today. And one more currency that I want to take a look will be definitely. I want to take a look at another currency pair. Usually, I only focus on G10, but also not going to deny that I want to take a look at what's happening on the Great British Pound versus the Swiss franc, the last currency we're going to take a look. Now, let's take a look at the monthly. What is happening here? Now, if you take that trend line that comes all the way from those lows, for example, you can see that there is an opportunity for us to expect a bounce in what is the trading activity on the cross. This is a cross. This is not a G10. This is not a main pair. It's a cross, a little bit different and a little bit more expensive than the usual. For example, when we're trading the pound dollar, the spread, the difference between the ask and the buy is about 1.819, maybe 2. It can move lower when there's more liquidity. But for the cross, is 3.1, is almost 1 point more expensive, or 1.2 points more expensive. So keep that in mind. That's also why I like to trade only US pairs. I don't know why they just go so crazy about trading crosses, expecting these big explosive moves. And just trade safe. Just look for a day-to-day transaction. That's all you need. So let's take a look at the weekly, see what's happening. Price, we can see now it's moving sideways, which tends to be the beginning of a strong move. You can see that there. So we can think this range will be projected to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised that at some point we can easily see the pound back at 125.48 and weekly going back to 131.68. That can easily give you from 119.11, we'll go all the way up to back to 131.70. That would be about 1,270 pips. So let's do the exercise. Potentially, you're looking at something close to 1,500 pounds, I will say, give and take. And of course, as part of being responsible to everyone, oh no, it's actually, no, it's actually more. Let me see here. Okay. Potentially to the upside. Oh, no, we're looking at potentially 11,000 pounds. Now it makes sense. 11,000 pounds. To this point, you're looking about 5,000 pounds. And again, this is just an exercise of risk reward. And this level, we are looking potentially, based on risk, we're looking potentially 2,500 pounds in risk. Definitely, you are going to need a different setup as far as capital, storing capital, but it's just a way to set up yourself. All right. Okay, perfect. Now, so we cover currencies so far, so good. I can say how much I like to share this information with you all. And now I'm gonna start looking at some newspapers in Wales. But before we continue, I'm just gonna start preparing everything, and we're gonna go back to look at opportunities on. We're gonna look at opportunities when it comes to U.S. markets. And I'm going to start with a little opportunity I found on Intel, ticker symbol INTC. I have to make sure I switch the, oh no, there I'm back. I'm going to switch now and open our feed and look at tools that we use to trade options in the U.S. So there we go. I think I have it, and let me look if it's there. Yeah, it should be there. It's open. Perfect. So now we're just half an hour before ending our London Open. See how's everything behaving. As you can see, it's the pound having all the action. That's what we trade, the Great British Pound. Remember, this is about trading Forex as a business. This is not for you to become a trader, okay? It's not that you want to become an analyst or become an economist. It's not about talking about the economy or talking or guessing and speculate about what the UK government may not do. It's about, I think what it is, the camera here. Okay. It's about understanding that there's potential. There's something that you can do with Forex trading. If you go into it as a business, you need to have a methodology. Of course, we would like for you to come to trade with JR or different community partners, Comunidad Trader in South America and other programs that we have. So you can understand the math behind, and we can really coach you, guide you individually and as a team in our weekly meetings to how to get there, how to understand what you're doing, okay? Where is your risk? Where is your stop loss? Some people say, I go for only 20 pips. Maybe can we maximize that? Can you go for 20 pips and a little bit more? How do you do that? Okay. And always understanding that it's not the oscillator, the bands, or everything. It's a mathematical proposition. Manage your risk and the rewards come to you. At this time, you're just going to start flying to America. Let's go to America and see what we have with this company, Intel. As I said, ticker symbol INT. Let me double check that we have all that available as well on YouTube and Zoom. Let's see what we do. Chrome as well. So that will be Intel. There you go. And here we are. Okay. So Intel, it's a company. It's a behemoth. It's a big white elephant. That's what it is. Intel is a big white elephant. And at this time, I found that there's an opportunity for us to take some risk, worth it, and rather than saving, okay, rather than saving. I'm calling it for us to allocate a little bit of money in the options markets in the US, and we're going to trade Intel. I want to buy. This is what I want to do. I want to buy this call option. This is what we're looking to do. We're looking to buy. All right. Yeah, I'm just have a quick second. Have clients coming all the way from Singapore. All right, all right, all right. Okay, game on. All right. Okay, so that's what we're looking. We're looking at opportunities where we can actually make money in the long term, short term. Okay, so we know Forex trading, it will allow us based on H4 methodology. We're looking to take home 500 pounds per week. Okay, it could be an extra 500 pounds per month. It can be an extra 400 pounds every 2 weeks. Now, while we're looking with options in the US, US markets, they are the most liquid. And honestly, no offense to other equity markets in the US, the FTSE 100, IBEX 35, DAX in Germany, Nikkei 225, CAC 40. Please let me know what is the index, equity index in Italy. No, we're looking at an opportunity to place our money and slowly grow our funds. And that, I think, is this with this call. We're looking at Intel Corporation, January 21 of the year 2022, strike 55. What I'm saying based on the delta, and guys, you can always come, boys and girls, you can always tell me that you use different metrics. The metrics I use to measure my trades in the vast majority of the cases, I will say 80% of the time, I look at the delta as my measure of probability. The delta means, I want you to look at this in a basic, very basic explanation. Okay, the delta is a variation of probability that I use, percentage, okay? A delta of 0.31 means that I have a 31 probability that this will happen. Now, at this time, the markets are not favoring Intel. So remember, buying equities is an exercise of the future. Right now, things are not going well. There's a lot of words back and forth with Taiwan Semiconductors, TSM, that's another ticker. But I still believe in Intel. Now, I do think Intel is going to need some time, all right? They are going to need some time. Now, let's take a look at, this is one company I want to talk to you all today. I have another company that I want to talk about too. The company we're looking at is Intel. This is my the platform I use for charts. It's Trading View. Okay. Now I can look at the monthly chart. Let's see what we have. Look at this. This is the monthly chart. You see, now in the US, they tend to use the 20 exponential moving average. This is what you see right now. Let me make sure we all are on the same page. Okay, perfect. And let me check the. We have to switch. Have to come up with a better solution for this. What is happening with Intel? There you go. Is it the right one? Okay, Intel. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now everyone should have on their screen Intel on Trading View. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Here we go. Okay, so Intel. Double check on YouTube and Zoom. Beautiful. Now, what we're looking at Intel, big, strong company. Look at this. In the US, they use the 20 exponential moving average as far as speed moving average. Okay, this is a different story from Forex. Now, I do know, look, I do know we're trading under this. So this is bearish. Now, what I also know is what may not happen as far as where it can easily go. I know since sometime February 2008 that there is a strong liquidity at this level. I can easily do this. And there you go. That's your liquidity. But also there's a little tool that you need to know that exists. It's called the volume profile. And look at it. Volume profile is very strong in this area, 50 to, I would say, $44. If by any chance there is a continuation in the bearish trend and Intel, ticker symbol INTC, doesn't make it, then easily we're going to retest this strong liquidity at $36. It's not a surprise if this happened. We have evidence coming from volume profile. Let me just, there you go, right there. Oh my God, look at that. And we have also the horizontal. You see this horizontal red line? That's the point of control, okay? That's the point of control. That's, think about the point of control as the core. Very simple, it's the core of your stock. Now, the blue histogram to the right, that's volume profile. And it's telling me that if we don't have a bounce back soon, we will see Intel trading at $35. That is not a bad thing. And it actually is a great opportunity to build up a position and tackle again all the way back to $52. All right? So don't be discouraged by this information. This is just an idea for you to know, hey, there's an opportunity. All right. Now, if I take the weekly, same story, strong volume this area. Let's take a look at the daily. That's as what I want to do. I don't want to move to a lower. I probably want to take a look a little bit of the H4 to see what's happening. Same story. The stock seems to be very, at some point, stick to the moving average. We have this big drop. Look at this big drop from $55 to $49, then continuation of the drop. A big challenge would be to see it, to see Intel to break above the $49 mark. That will be critical for us to see opportunities in the long term. But like I said, in the short term, I don't think there's much to talk about Intel. I don't think it's going to make any, there are not fireworks coming, extremely bearish. The momentum is not fair in the stock. But like I said, see this, May 2019, again, March 2020. So simple technical analysis, nothing fancy. 1, 2, 3. This can easily be the setup for a triple bottom, and it can be used as a guidance into buying. Now, I don't have time to think this is going to happen right away. I don't have time to think this is going to happen right away. So I'm basically just saying, you know what? Let me look into this for some time down the road. Let's say 12 to 14 months. 12 to 14 months. And that's what I'm looking at. So that's the proposition I have for all of you today, is to look at this opportunity in the options market, where we are going to give enough room for Intel to recover. That's what it is. We're giving a lot of time for it to recover. And based on this data and in the influence that we see, and I will go to explain more of what I'm looking at. Let me just double check that everyone is looking at the same screens we have. I have to take this one out, have to bring back. Okay, let me share my screen again. Here we go. Looking at that, this particular opportunity, there is, in the open interest, there's something close to 16,265 contracts. Okay, that gives us an idea. The rotation for this contract was $18, high 18s, low 254. Now, it's hard sometimes to measure, but I will say in the last 3 months, there's been an accumulation in this one. So let's say, for example, I think there's an accumulation at this particular trade. I will say 16,000 contracts, 265 times $5. That would be $500. So I can say there's something close to $8 million Now, if there's no $8 million allocated here, let's say 16,265 times $200, there's something close to $3 million. So at this point in time, I have some evidence to believe that in this contract to the year 2022, there's something between $800 million to $3.2 million. Okay, so that gives me enough confidence. Now, some of you may think, oh, that's a hedge. Some will say, oh, that's not something, that's not possible. But remember, I'm not here to talk to you about possibilities. I'm here to talk to you about probabilities. That's what it is about, probabilities. So if that's the case, I'm willing to take a bet and willing to allocate some risk into the future of Intel and expect a recovery of this company in the next 12 to 14 months. That's what I'm looking at, all right? That's what I'm looking with this company. So perfect. Now, I have this position. Basically, what I will do is go into my trading platform and add, I will be paying something close to 286. So I will say this contract is an option contract. So you multiply by 100. So that will give you $286 per contract. Okay, so that's what you're paying, $286 per contract. So you will have as many contracts as you have in money too, and then we'll see how in the next couple of weeks this will behave. In the video, in the description of this video, you will find this information. I also will add it on YouTube so you can have an idea what is the contract I'm looking at. And finally, that's the idea on Intel. And finally, there's one more company I want to take a look, and it's because D.E. Shaw, the hedge fund where Jeff Bezos started, let me just set the screen for everyone, where Jeff Bezos started, they acquire about 5% of this company called ticker symbol JKS, Jinko Solar Holding. Okay, and we are trading the ADS, American Depositary Receipt in the US. So there you go. Okay, perfect. This, take a look at the monthly. Okay, look at the monthly. It's bullish so far. Everyone on YouTube and Zoom, they have access to it. Let me go to Restream. I don't know if I'm looking at that one. Okay, this is the one. This is the contract. Just before I move, this is the contract on Intel for the year January 21st, strike 55, year 2022. All right, so let me just take this one out and let's go back to work with trading view. Okay, let's double check. We'll have it there. Perfect. There we go. And there you have it. Ticker symbol JKS. All right. All right. Okay, we got it. We got it. Perfect. Now let's work on this one a little bit. Like I said, we have the E-Show, which is the hedge fund where our good friend, Jeff Bezos started his career. Okay, shortcut. There's so much happening right now in the options market in the US. Where is this one? Yeah, the E-Show reports a 5% passive stake. They have a stake now in this company, and I think we have to take a look now. When I'm looking to trade US stocks, what I look at is 3 time frames. First, monthly, weekly, daily. That's it. I'm here to look to make money 100% to 100%. So I cannot take pennies on the dollars. I need to look for the money. Now, on to the right, we have volume profile. Pre-market is now trading at $66 per share. We enter at 65, thinking to enter at 65.30. That's gone. So we'll have to set up ourselves. And this company has tremendous potential, tremendous potential. Now, as Joe Biden won, there are a few opportunities, there are a few markets. We know the cannabis market is out there doing very well last week. Everyone talking about who wins, who does that. But the fact is, slowly legalization of cannabis all across the U.S. is taking place. It's a tremendous opportunity. Our friends of, I said my friends to Marijuana Business Daily, they came up with a calculation that for every dollar consumers and patients take on cannabis, the value back to their economies is close to $2.50. Again, Marijuana Daily Business, my friends, they came up with this clever analysis, and they said, okay, every time you buy $1 worth of products and or patients need for medical purposes, they need cannabis, that will translate into economic value of $2.50. That, my friends, is an absolutely great mathematical value. So it's happening all across the US. It's going to really crush the illegal marijuana market and will translate into new jobs and benefits. And believe me, as soon as you have something that is legalized, you remove the voodoo, the sense of a legal activity, that you're doing something that no one else can do, and is better. Less criminals, less fighting, more value for the different states, translated into new jobs and more dollars around the economy is good for everyone. Okay, more dollars circulating is good for the economy. So from the perspective of understanding what is happening, where's the stock? Look at this. The stock is not actually trading lower. We're in the middle of a bullish, this is a bullish candle monthly. Let me just trying to move this a bit slow. Today, see, everyone is looking at the same. Yes, Zoom, Restream, perfect. Now, see this. We are trading in a bullish. Now, these so far this month, it's at 12% in the almost the second week of November. Still 12% up for this company. But if you look at it at some point in time, and I'm just going to let me use the price range from this trading platform. Look at this. It was up another 23%. And previously, last month, it traded as high as $90. Do I want to be a buyer? Of course, I want to be a buyer. I want to take advantage of a continuation in the trend, also knowing that a hedge fund of the size and the trading angle of DE Shaw, it's behind. They already took a 5% position. It makes me more confidence that I want to trade this company. There's value to it. I still will be looking to take another like 37% up. So if I trade and I use my day-to-day mathematics, I use a 35% risk. There you go, 35, something around that. I will be taking a little bit of close to 1 to 114 on my profit factor, but still will be worth it. Still will be worth it. So JKS, company that I want to trade. I want to buy shares on this one. I think solar is coming. People were talking about so much stuff right now. Companies in the solar space, they've been trading and moving as an investment, moving higher. Look at TAN, T-A-N, the Invesco exchange traded solar ETF. If you look at the trend since November and then all the way from March, when we had, according to history, the fastest crash on earth on the history of the financial markets. I will say from the low in April, we are up from $24 all the way to $75.55. You've been looking at Tesla, you've been looking at Facebook, you've been looking at Microsoft, but right here you have a nice 220% in solar. They are coming back and opportunities are left and right, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for today. This has been the London Open. We went over H4 and different views on G10 currencies. I talk a little bit about the H4 methodology, the euro, what to do with the dollar Swiss franc. We'll look at an opportunity in the long term and year 2022 with Intel not doing that good now. But look at the future. Look at the bright future, and the stock may recover, and we can make a nice profits if we allocate some funds in the right investment vehicle. As well, we're looking at JKS, an opportunity based on understanding who is behind the company. So this is it for today. Signing off, JR, and this has been the War Room 1985, our first London Open. I see you guys tomorrow to talk more about news, Forex, G10 especially, US equities, and absolutely the beautiful and explosive and exponential, everything you want world of options in US stocks. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Take care. Ciao.